You know, there are going to be some people who will always want a print newspaper, but I think they'll become a minority, and I think it'll become a secondary part of the business, and they will probably have to pay a real heavy premium to get it. Our strategy here is to take every piece of reporting we do and to sell it many different ways: on the website, in the print newspaper, in a weekly newspaper, as RSS feeds. You can get it on your cell phone, on your iPhone, as an email. It's very much being broken up into small components, and I think the print newspaper will just be one of those. The first thing is that the reporter will call his or her editor, file 5 or 6 paragraphs right away, which we'll post immediately to the website. Our website people will then actively go out and try to get links to other websites, which will drive traffic to our website, and that's all important for advertising revenue. The reporter then goes back and continues reporting the story, tries to get more details, more context. We'll upgrade the story to the website, and then when the story has died down and development stopped, then sit down and start to write a story for the newspaper, which we hope will have a fresh angle and try to find some new way of approaching it so that it will still appear fresh the next day. I'm surprised. I would have expected more resistance than we've had, and I think, you know, the newspaper industry in America is going through an enormous consolidation. I mean, literally thousands and thousands of journalists are losing their jobs at all the biggest, most powerful, most influential newspapers in the country. Our reporters see that going on around them, and they're very, you know, and they understand that we're all just struggling for survival for all of our jobs, and most of them are very happy to, you know, do whatever it takes. In fact, it actually makes it easier as a manager than it used to be. If I had to tell somebody, I'm sorry, you're going to have to start working weekends and nights, you know, there used to be terrible resistance. Now it's, okay, sure, whatever you need. We are just in the last few weeks begun a major experiment. We have one full day, full page every day of citizen journalism, in which we invite members of the community to submit their own stories. We edit them very vigorously and demand that the stories meet our standards of professional journalism, but the story ideas and the content is coming entirely from citizens in the community. We think this accomplishes 2 things. Number 1, it creates a bond with the community, helps them to identify with the newspaper. And number 2, they are bringing stories to our attention that our own reporters have been missing. I think, you know, because the way America is being such a large country, that each city has had its own individual newspapers that serve its own community. And I think most of those will survive in some form. They do, you know, they cover the city council, they cover local affairs, and they're also still very important. You'd be surprised how many people buy newspapers for the supermarket coupons. I think there will be only a handful of news organizations that provide the national, international news, maybe a couple dozen in the end, and that will be mainly web-based. You know, those will be websites. Some of them are now, you know, broadcasters like CNN or BBC. Some of them are or NBC. Some of them are now newspapers like New York Times, Washington Post, hopefully ourselves. Some of them are, you know, startup websites, but and, you know, we all sort of have an equal chance now, and so it's kind of exciting for us. We've always been a second-tier newspaper. We're seeing this as an opportunity to move into the first tier, so it's an exciting opportunity for us.